Hello, and welcome back to Thursday edition with me. I'm Logan, if you didn't know that. Alright, so, being trans in the workplace or at school. I didn't come out till I was till I was out of school, but I do have some things to talk about regarding that topic. However, I will do that at the end. Trans at the workplace. That's definitely something I can talk about. I started my job before I really came out as trans. No one knew. I was just this gay female, as far as anyone knew, as far as I was ready to tell anyone. And so that's just how everyone knew me, was by my former name, that I liked girls, that sort of thing. And then about a year after working there, was when I started realizing I need to be honest with myself and then tell my coworkers, and my boss and all that stuff, what's really going on. So basically, I started telling my coworkers. They were all really cool about it. I think I told part of this story in one of my beginning videos. So I'll kind of skip over that stuff. They were cool. Most of them changed names, pronouns pretty quickly. Some of them took a little bit longer. My boss, here's the thing, is obviously with any job or whatever, you're required to, give legal name and all that stuff so they can do background checks, make sure you're not, dangerous or anything. So as far as, HR and all of that stuff, it's, it was my legal name. So all of, in the computer to, clock in and clock out, and I work at Starbucks, so, to get a register, it's, my legal name. All of that stuff's my legal name. It still is, because I haven't been able to change my name yet. So when I started putting Logan on my name tag, I was told, I got away with it for a little bit, and I was told that I couldn't, because it wasn't my legal name, that I could put my first name, middle name, or last name. So I just started putting my last name for a while. But I think my manager kind of could see, when she first told me that I couldn't put that name, she could see that it kind of sucked. That I didn't, I remember I literally felt like a stab to the chest, when I was basically told, hey, you can't put that, or you have to have your name on it, or whatever. I couldn't even put, I think the one that really killed me was I couldn't even put a shortened version of my first name, of my legal first name. Apparently there's something I couldn't put a nickname or whatever. I'm it's a shortened version of my first. I was like, I'm begging you, please let me put this. I can't put the full name. I literally, if I can put Logan, please just let me put this. It's I cannot, in any aspect of me, feel right putting a full first name on a name tag. I was I can't do it. And I was about on the brink of tears. I didn't cry, but I almost, it was there. I could feel it. And I know my manager could tell. I know anyone in the surrounding area could probably feel the heightened anxiety that I was having. So I think that's when I just kept putting my last name or whatever, which is kind of fun because it's Polish and it's really hard to pronounce. So it's kind of fun to watch customers try to pronounce it and ask me what it is. Yeah, that's always a fun time, for me at least. And then my manager talked to my district manager and kind of explained the situation. And that's when they let me put put Logan on my name tag, and that's what I've been ever since. My customers, however, they all knew me before, most of them at least, and so then when they started seeing different names on my name tag, be it my last name or whatever, then Logan. I think at first they just assumed it was just like, oh, that's just your name that you're putting on your name tag, and then as it just stuck, they started asking, why Logan, like why this, why that, and I never really went into detail. Some of them figured it out. Others, I was just like, because that's just what it is. Like, oh, is that your name now? I was like, yeah. Just very matter of fact, very just like, no, that's my name. Like, that's just what it is. I wasn't going to go into detail because, one, I didn't think it was necessary, and two, how do you go into, like, coming out that you're trans while you're making someone's, like, grande non-fat latte or something, It's like, oh, hey, like, while I'm steaming this milk and you can't hear me anyway, I'm just gonna, tell you my whole story while making, like, 10 other people's drinks at the same time, and inadvertently coming out to a bunch of strangers that don't need to know any of that. Yeah. Most of my customers were really cool about it. They switched over. They, some of them still call me by, like, a nickname. I did have one customer that was like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Like, I like your other name. Like, what is this? And I'm just like, sorry. It's just, it's what it is. I did have a customer that, she must have figured it out, and she shook my hand. She's like, I want to congratulate you. You're very, like, congratulations. Like, it's really cool what you're doing, and I'm very, very proud of you. And, I wish you good luck with everything. And all of a sudden, I was just like, this is probably one of my favorite, like, customer experiences that I've ever had. And I'd seen her one other time. I saw her one other time after that, and she, like, asked me how it was going and how everything was and how I was feeling and all of that stuff. And I've seen her a few times since then, but I haven't actually seen her in a while. I should find out where she is. Sorry, I'm really thirsty after hiking. So that part was really cool. It still sucks that, yeah, when I, the time clock, the registers, going to a different Starbucks and wanting to get, like, my partner discount, or when I'm working at a different Starbucks and I can, like, get, like, my free drink or free food item, I still have to use my partner numbers, which is still connected to my legal name. That part kind of sucks sometimes. A lot of the stores in the district know me, and know about me, so for the most part, they're just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. A lot of new people, I have to be like, these are my numbers. It's going to come up as a different name, but I swear to you, it's still me. And it causes some confusions every now and then. It's just happened recently where a guy that, at a different store that I was at, he was ringing me up, and then he was like, wait, let me try that again. And I was like, okay, that's right, this happens. Because it hasn't happened in a while, I kind of forgot. And the manager happened to be there, and she was like, no, it's right, like, Then I was like, yeah, the name's going to be a little different. And then when it popped up again, she was like, yeah, that's good. Like, he's good. And I was like, okay. I was like, thank you. So it's kind of awesome. I'm sure it sucks for them to, like, have to, because a lot of them will change, like, my name. They'll, like, cross out my legal name and put Logan on, like, their schedules. Even, like, the people at, like, the managers and one of the shift supervisors at my work, will, like, write out the name, like, exit out and then put Logan, yeah. So it's a couple extra steps that people are taking that I really appreciate, and I don't know if I've told any of them. So if any of them are watching this, I really appreciate it. I don't know if you watch them. Um, uh, yeah. Um, it hasn't been too bad. I did have like a customer experience where when I first started transitioning, where he was just like, you're just some girl, like you're just some wannabe, like you're you're just a stupid dyke kind of thing. And I was like, I'm not, but okay. Like, he was mad because I kicked him out because he was just sitting there doing, like, he was disrupting, like, other customers. He hadn't bought anything. Like, it was a whole thing. And he was just mad that I was like, no, you really can't be in here. Um, but with most customer service jobs, these things kind of happen. Um, so, anyway, that's basically trans at work. I know if I go get another job somewhere, um, since I haven't changed my name yet, I'm just gonna have to kind of be like, hey, this. Um, but yeah. Um, to anyone who is at a job and is transitioning and things aren't going the way that you want them to, don't. I'm gonna emphasize this. It's not easy to switch, even if someone hasn't known you that long. It's not always that easy to switch over. Like some of my coworkers knew me for a year, maybe a year and a half. And it was easy for some and it was difficult for others because that's what they're used to saying, or that's what they see like in a computer system or something. Um, it's not going to be easy. Some people will refuse to do it because they don't believe in the whole transgender thing. Um, and there's really not a whole lot that you can do about it. If it really bugs you, talk to someone. Talk to someone where you work. Explain the situation. Like, if I've learned anything, it's that you gotta get people. When you get people behind you, when you get upper management behind you, like, things change. Um, things can change. All you have to do is just talk to someone about it, and they will help you in some way. That's what they're there for. I know it's easier said than done, but at the same time, it's like if the people at your job aren't giving you the respect that you deserve, either do something to change that, to like make them respect you, or go somewhere else. Like, I know that people are gonna get that you're gonna get like irritated because they're not, doing it quick enough, or they're not just doing whatever. It's not a flick of the switch situation. It's not. Um, Everybody is going to react to this differently, and I know it sucks, and I know that it's not the most ideal situation, but with anything that changes, it's an adjustment. That's all you have to know. It's an adjustment. Um, yeah. And I know after telling my story, you're probably like, oh, well, what does he know? Whatever. Look, I've done a lot of other things in my life that have required changing and required adjustments with other aspects of my life. And I've seen backlash from it. I've seen the struggle of other people having to kind of make that change within themselves to like understand and respect me. Um, so maybe in the story that I just told you, where like all my coworkers are really chill, um, it doesn't seem like I know what you're going through. But trust me when I say I do. Um, Also, the thing about like my name being in the system as like my legal name, I honestly don't even see it anymore. I look at my last name. My last name's not changing. My last name's exactly the same. So I just pay attention to the name that I know is mine. I know what my name is. The people around me know what my name is. And to me, that's all that really matters. Because in a computer doesn't care. Computer's like whatever. Like people that are like HR that you don't have to deal with, they don't. They're just like whatever. You're just you're an employee. If you do have to deal with them, hopefully you can talk to them. They're not obviously they can't change your documents or change your stuff in like their system because it's legal documents. But they can help. Moral of the story: ask for help. Like suck up that pride and ask for help. Ask for support. Ask for demand respect, basically. It's worth it. It might be hard, but it's worth it. Sometimes the toughest things you have to do are totally worth it in the end. Yeah. On to transit at school. Obviously, like I said, I wasn't out when I was at school. I started figuring it out when I was at school, but I wasn't on board with any of that yet within myself to do anything about it. I did, however, read an article lately that a school in Illinois was kind of in some hot water, as they say, for essentially discriminating. Sorry, I'm trying to find the article on my phone. Discriminating against a transgender girl for, there it is, for wanting to use the girls' locker room for gym class. And they made like a private area for her. They made a private section off area in the locker room for her. And instead of giving her the option to use it, they told her she was required to use it. Which basically is a form of segregation. And discrimination and all sorts of Asians. But she's like, it said, although the student said she intends to use a private area or a locker room bathroom stall to change, the stipulation constitutes blatant discrimination. It's not voluntary, it's mandatory. It's one thing to say, all the girls, you can choose if you want some extra privacy, but it's another thing to say you and you alone must use them. It sends a pretty strong signal to her that she's not accepted and the district does not see her as a girl. The fact that this was our topic this week, and I got this email at the beginning of the week, is pretty interesting. Let's see if I can find what has happened since then. So I just kind of read it, and they have 30 days to change their policies. And I know there's a couple other schools that have gone through this. There's opinions from kids, and then there's opinions from like adults. And while both are sort of on both sides of the spectrum, the comments from the kids is one is like, I think they should be in whatever one they want, and that's completely considered for, obviously. And then the person who was quoted as being on the other side was like, I see where they're coming from. I don't think it matters, but I see where they're coming from. Like, it's basically saying, I see where they're coming from. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I see what they're trying to do. So it's like on the side of like right and in the middle. Whereas the parents are like, I think they should be allowed to use whatever restroom they feel, or whatever bathroom, locker room they feel matches their proper gender. On the other side is like, they're teenagers and they're still learning, and it's not about, you know, what they feel or whatever. It's about body parts. Like, what does that have to do with any? That's like the same argument that people are making in general bathroom, like, things. Like, when I'm at work, luckily the first store that I was at, the bathroom was only for employees, so I could use whatever I wanted. Then I got transferred and I went to a store that had a public restroom. Um, I just used the men's restroom. One, because it was a single stall, single room, like, whatever bathroom, so, like, the door locked, and it was just me in there. Um, and when I go out, I'll use the guy's restroom. Before I even transitioned, I went to a guy's restroom every now and then. Because the cool thing about the guy's restroom is that nobody pays attention to anyone. I was explaining this to my girlfriend earlier, and I was like, look, it's like, you could walk into a guy's restroom, and 9 times out of 10, they will not know that you were just in there. Like, if you walk in, do whatever, leave, and someone were, like, standing outside the restroom, like, asking the people who came in before or after you, like, oh, did you see this person? Chances are they're going to be like, no. What are you talking about? Or like, yeah, and? You have to be, like, Jessica Rabbit walking into a men's restroom to really be noticed. You've got to be, like, you've got to be something. But, I mean, the whole, like, bathroom thing is, like, people were worried about that, about, like, gay people. Like, oh, gay men in a restroom. Well, you don't hear a lot about all that. Like, yeah, there's still hate crimes. I'm willing to bet that there will always be hate crimes about something. There will always be someone that has enough hate in their heart that they want to do something as stupid as beat someone up, because of their own insecurities. Unfortunately, that's just what's going to happen. Until but the only way that we can change that, or at least lessen the amount of violence, is by awareness, is by, showing people that what these angry, hateful people are saying, that stuff's gonna happen and this is gonna happen. If we legalize this is gonna happen. If we allow this to happen, then this is gonna happen. It's like, if we legalized gay marriage, then what's next? Happy couples. People are like, oh, they're gonna start marrying animals and blah 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 blah. No, marrying animals is the crap that you see on, like, the TLC channel of, like, the My Strange Addiction. Like, there's a lady that married the Eiffel Tower. That has nothing to do with anything. That was long before. Like, crazy shit is gonna happen. I'm here to tell you. Like, there will be people in the world who will try to do things like that. It has nothing to do with anything in the LGBT community. I will tell you this, like, nothing is any way correlated with people wanting to have relations with inanimate objects or animals or anything. Like, that's not us being like, oh, hey, you should go do this. It's not. I don't know what anyone is thinking. It's not. Letting, like, transgender people use, like, the bathroom that they see fit. People are like, oh, it's gonna bring in molesters, and it's gonna bring in perverts, and, like, whatever. And, like, do you honestly think that if a molester or, like, a perverted person, like, wanted to go into a restroom, they wouldn't already be doing it? Like, it's not like letting this happen is going to be like, oh, well, now you're just going to open the floodgates. No, it's not. Like, literally not gonna happen. Like, it's a bathroom. Like, you're gonna go in, you're gonna do your business, wash your hands, and leave. Like, it's, yeah, for women, it's a place where they touch up their makeup. For some women, I should say. Touch up their makeup, do whatever, get themselves, like, put back together, whatever. I'm gonna be honest, I've seen some guys just kind of zhuzhing their hair and fixing their shirts and doing stuff. Like, everybody does it. Everybody wants to look good from time to time. So, it's silly. I went a little off topic, I'm sorry. Transgender in the workplace. It's a tricky, slippery slope from time to time. But if you know who you are and you are confident within yourself, then it'll work out. Talk to your coworkers, talk to your managers, talk to your HR people. Just talk to people. Tell them what your situation is. Tell them what your preferences are. Don't get mad if they don't suddenly just automatically switch over. It's not that simple. Also understand that some people might not do it, and you just sort of have to accept that. It will be frustrating, but unfortunately, it is life. It's what's going to happen no matter what. There will always be someone who is against what you're doing. Always. And the difference is how you react to that. Whether you let it fester and eat you up inside, what some other person's opinion and some other person's, issues are, or if you're just be like, okay, I accept that that's how you feel. I'm not really going to acknowledge you or it. Yeah. And just sort of essentially put a wall between them. So that if they say anything to you, you can be like, that's great. Bye. Change jobs. If you can, change locations. Basically, the only way we can really fix this, that we can fix the ridiculous thing that's happening in Houston with equality within the LGBT community that got shot down mostly off of transphobic lies, is to bring more visibility to our community. Bring visibility to the people who have this misconceived notion about what it means to be trans. Teach them what it really is about. Unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of older people who have, beliefs that they grew up with and are resistant to change, because there are a lot more kids and young adults who are completely accepting of all of this. The ones that aren't are the ones that learned from those adults, from their elders, about hate, about discrimination, about all of this stuff. It's not something you're born with, it's something you learn. Same with compassion. It's not something you're born with, it's something you learn. So let's share these videos, because I think this is a very good topic to spread around, to share with others. So post this anywhere, on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your whatever Periscope is. I don't know, I'm old. I keep hearing these words and I don't know what they mean. Yeah, post it on any of your social medias. Email your friends, email your family. Do anything. Get not just this video, like this week's videos, get, all of it. even the other dudes on YouTube. Like, we're all just trying to, you know, get visibility for our community. That we're still kind of in a shadow. We're eking our way out of it, but there is still so much that is like stuck in the shadows. That people need to know about our community, and it would be awesome if we could spread the love. Yeah. So, on that note, tune in next week. I think we've got the next 2 weeks, a cool like 2-part series happening. If memory serves me, and if we do what I last heard that we're going to be doing. I'm not going to say it, just in case it's not what we're doing. Also, next week, it's my 1 year on T, so I'm probably going to have a pretty amped up video next week. And I hope everyone has a great weekend, and a great beginning of next week until I see you and watch the other guys' videos. I've watched all of them. I think I'm missing one. Drew, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna watch yours after this, I swear. Watch their videos. This week is a great topic, and I'm excited to see what the other guys have. So, like, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff. Spread the word. Be awesome. Be cool, and be here next week. All right.